Okay, this is going to be a tutorial on how to do cloud fly-throughs, which is just do a quick preview here. I did a low-res version so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. I got the horizon, the clouds, and the wispiness up here. I'm going to be starting from scratch, so things are going to look a little different, I'm sure, when I'm done color-wise and all that stuff. But this is going to be, every time you start and do a new one, you're going to have a different look and stuff. So this gives you a basic idea of what we're going to get when we're done. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to use 3D Max 2010 and Adobe After Effects in the end to get everything set up color-wise and everything if you want to change anything. Alright, so let's go to Max, and what we need to do first is we're going to start off with a camera. Get a camera in there. I'm going to click my camera here. Camera, toolbar, menu, whatever you want to call it. Click free, and just click in your front viewport somewhere so we can get a camera going in there. Alright. Then we're going to set our camera lens to 8. Get it a really wide angle lens on it. And we're going to right click on our move tool here, which is over here. And we're going to set everything to 0. 0, 0, 0, X, Y, and Z, just to get it in the center. Alright, so now we have the camera in the center. And we're going to also go to our render setup, get this set up now. Set custom HD TV, and you may want to choose 1280 by 720 when you're doing this. I'm doing 490 by 270. I'm going half res just to make things quicker for the tutorial. But definitely, if you're doing this for a final output, 1280 by 720. But you can choose this later if you want. I usually go with the low resolution like this when I'm doing quick renders, just to get an idea if it's going to look good, so it renders quicker and everything. And then when I'm sure it's done, then I'll change to 1280 by 720. So start off at set 490 by 270 if you're doing HD, and you'll be fine. You'll get quick renders. Your output you'll want to change later when we go to render it. For now, I'm just going to leave it at single so I can do just single renders. Alright, so we'll close this. That should be ready to go. Now we're going to go in this viewport, our perspective. And I'm going to change it to my camera viewport. And I'm also going to change show save frames. I'm going to turn that off. Shift F, and that'll get your save frames. We're going to turn the save frames on so we can actually see what we're going to, there's going to be an outline of what we're going to get when we render it, so we know exactly what's going to fit in our render output. Okay, so we're going to go to our geometry panel here. Click here, then here, and we're going to add a box. Just drag it out. In the top viewport there. And the length we're going to make 500. Not 5,500. And our width will be, we're going to set it to 25. And height, we're going to make 1.5. That should be good. Okay, then we're going to click the move tool, and we're going to set that and put that in the middle. X, Y, and Z, just make sure everything's, okay, so now that's in the middle. And we want to take our camera now. We want to move our camera up on the Z axis to 2. Okay, now that'll get that up there. Alright, so that's good. Camera's where we need it for there. Now we're going to right click on our viewport here, on our top viewport. Use the mouse wheel to zoom out just so you can see the full length of the box. And we're going to pull the camera back on its Y axis only until we can see the front, and then we want to come back forward until we don't see the front of it, like that. So it's looks like it's gonna be, I'm watching my move tool here. Just gonna probably set this at an even number, so Let's just set it to 200, minus 200. Doesn't have to, there's no given setting for this. This is just going to control how fast the camera is going to go across our clouds. Okay, then we're going to go to our time configuration here. I'm going to set our end time to 600 frames long. Okay, so now with our camera selected, we're going to go to auto key and go all the way to 600, and then we're going to pull this forward until our blue line here goes to the edge of our box that we made, and we see it's at 95, so I'm going to set that to an even 100. Just hit enter on that to make sure it confirms it, and that's it. Turn off auto key, and now it's going to fly through, and 600 frames is going to fly through from that across our box, which is going to be our cloud soon. Okay, so now we can take our box, left click on that, and then we're going to right click on the box, object properties, and we're going to turn off renderable because we don't want it to render, and we also want it to say display as box. Put a check there and click OK. So then it's just an empty box. We're not going to render it at all. We don't want nothing to happen with that box. Alright, so now we need to add particles to it. So we're going to go to geometry, click here, go to particle systems, particle flow source, PF source, and just somewhere in your top viewport, just drag a little icon out. Then we're going to go to particle view, and we'll just stay in this one, I guess. All right, we're gonna for position, we're just gonna, well, speed, let's get rid of speed. I'm gonna click on it and we'll hit the delete key. Rotation, delete that one. Now for we're gonna take this display here and move it up above, just left click and hold, move it above the render. All right, and then we're gonna change our birth to 0. And for now, we're gonna set this to 2000. And then we're going to go down here and grab a position object, and we're going to move it on top of position icon and replace that one. And for shape, we're going to do shape facing. We're going to grab this one and replace it with that one. Okay, and for position object, now let's add a material static in there too, underneath the shape facing. Then for position object, we're going to choose the box. We'll just click by list, and then you can choose box, select. Okay, now for location, we'll set it to surface, or I mean volume, sorry. So it fills up the box. That's why we gave it a little bit of height there, so it would spread the particles up and down too a little bit, so they're not just all on one surface. And that should be good there. Now for the shape facing, we're going to choose our look none. Click this none for look at camera. Click none. And if you can see the camera in your viewport, just click it. If not, just use the little list button up here, select by name, and then choose your camera there. Alright, and that should be good. We'll just can leave that the way it is for now. Okay, now under display, we're going to set this to geometry so we can actually see what we got here. Alright, that's good. For shape facing, speed follow, set it for align to speed follow, just to make sure it stays, everything stays put. Make sure that's right. Yeah, set it for speed follow. Alright, so that should be set for that. It's good. Alright, we're good there. Position objects box, material static, click on that, click the none button, and we're going to choose standard. Alright, let's close this for now. Now we got to bring up our material editor, so I'm going to go to rendering material editor, or click M on the keyboard, and we're going to take this material